Yeah, just a second, I'm coming.
Well, who you trying to impress this evening, Weaver? No, let me guess. Now, I know it's not Stacey, because I told you to stay away from her.
Look, Gil, I'm just on my way out. What do you want? I don't have much time, huh?
You can give me a few minutes. You can spare that much.
Look, I really don't want to argue with you over Stacey again.
You're gonna hear me out before you leave. Peter Davidson told me something about Stacey that I think you might be interested in hearing.
Now, what's bothering you?
Well, obviously, I'm not going to be able to keep any secrets in this annulment fight, am I?
No. Well, what did Courtney tell you?
Look, she just said that she got upset. She got very upset, okay? And then she started getting vindictive. Said that she hated me, hated all men.
Oh. Well, you're going to have to find some way to convince her that the reason you're doing this is because you love her. Or Peter Davidson.
Oh, Peter Davidson. Where are you off to?
Well, I'm going out. I have an appointment with a potential client.
Preston.
Eh?
Now, never mind. It's just something that... Well, it's something that I'll take care of myself.
I'm afraid you're going to have to, Vaughn, because I cannot keep my dinner or the client waiting.
Preston, a client? Since when have you had any business to do in Kingsley?
Well, my brother may have banished me to semi-retirement, but it doesn't mean I can't have a few irons in the fire. See you later.
Let me tell you something, Courtney. I've talked with Peter Davidson.
Oh, yes, I know that. I know you talked to Peter. He told me all about that.
When?
When? When he, tried to force himself on me the other night. You heard me. You know, in fact, I think he probably came right on over to me after he told you that he'd leave me alone.
Whoever he is, your timing is as bad as Joe Frazier. City desk?
Yeah,
Gene Rutland?
Yeah, let me talk to Peter Davidson, please.
I'm sorry, you just missed Peter. Can I take a message and have him call you?
No, just... Well, actually, can you give me an idea where I might be able to find him?
Well, he said something about going over to the huddle to meet a friend. Listen, it's no problem. I really can take a message and...
No, thank you very much.
Yeah, have a good day, too.
I wish somebody would build a vending machine that works. I spent half my salary on this thing.
Wait a minute. You just missed a phone call, buddy.
Well, who from? Don't tell me the IRS. They want to audit me?
No. Some pretty uptight dude sounded like it was pretty important that he got in touch with you.
Oh, yeah? What's his name? Leave a message?
No. For some reason, he didn't want to.
Well, just as well, I guess. Chances are they just want to hassle me. I got enough problems today.
You promised me that you would stay away from Stacey.
What are you? What are you, her father or something? You know, this has a familiar ring to it, Gil. Like the time you were trying to be so overprotective with your sister. You're acting the same way now. If she hadn't got down to North Carolina, you'd still be holding her hand on every date.
Probably, if she wanted to hang around with somebody like the likes of Cardello.
The voice of Snow White speaks.
You can be as smart as you want, Weaver. But what we're talking about here is Stacey, not my sister.
And she, just like your sister, knows how to pick her friends.
Friends?
Yeah, friends. Oh, wait a minute. Is that it? Is that what this is about? You still think that Stacey and I are more than friends?
You are to her.
Guess again.
She's in love with you, Weaver.
Gil, since when do you think that you know so much?
You don't believe me? Call Peter Davidson.
Peter? Now, what does Peter know about me and Stacey? For that matter, what does Peter know about you and Stacey?
I think he got his information from a pretty reliable source.
Is that right?
I don't think his mother would want to lie to you.
Where does Terry fit in?
It seems that Terry and Stacey have had a couple of heart-to-heart talks lately.
Oh, sure, right. And Terry just got the idea that me and Stacey have got this thing going all by her little self there, and she decided to jump in her car and come over and give her advice. You can do a lot better than that.
Terry went to talk to Stacey about Dave Phillips because Stacey's having trouble with adjusting to their
And
relationship.
what does that say about me and Stacey?
It has everything to do with you and Stacey, if you let me finish.
Finish.
When Terry was there, she saw a love poem that Stacey had written. The poem was to you.
Oh, come on, Gil. Stacey writes lots of poetry. Could have been another one she was working on.
The title of the poem was For Russ. Does Stacey know anybody else named Russ? I don't think so. And that means that you've been leading her on the whole time. And this little date that you've got this evening isn't going to help matters much.
Leading her on. Leading her on. Yeah, well, maybe you were right about the poem. But don't you think you're jumping to conclusions about tonight?
Think about it, Weaver. Stacey told Terry that because you've been paying her so much attention lately, that means how much you love her. She thinks you're her knight in shining armor coming to rescue her.
Gil,
You what? You believe me? Or are you gonna come up with some other excuse for what you've done to Stacey?
You ever try to reason with someone? You're acting like a total idiot?
Well, Peter, you can't be a reporter and not get yourself in a situation like that sometimes.
Yes, but this time, they are very wrong. I feel like a jerk.
It's kind of the way I felt when I talked to McGovern the other day.
Oh, and he got mad about the coffee?
Yeah, I wish it were that easy. See, I was trying to talk him into this idea of investigating this new self-help group in Kingsley.
Self-help group?
Yeah, they go by the name of Domi.
Oh, man, Nancy, yeah, she mentioned that.
Nancy does more than talk about these people. She thrives on this stuff. You know what I mean?
So, that makes you suspicious.
Well, why not? Some things just don't add up. Look, Nancy even offered to babysit for Carla and I one time. I mean, come on.
Ooh, that is strange. But she is acting a lot nicer these days.
A lot nicer. I'd say Nancy's acting weird these days. The thing that disturbs me about it, though, is the way she talks about this Dr. Fazan. She said she'd be willing to do anything for the woman.
That sounds like,
Little shady.
yeah. McGovern won't let you do anything about it?
He said no, but I did. I called the people, and they wouldn't give me any specific information. They said if I wanted to learn anything more about Domi, I was going to have to come down to one of their meetings in person.
Mm-hmm. You gonna do it?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but as much as I believe we really should investigate these people, I feel a little funny about going behind Walter's back.
You're always right about these hunches.
Yeah, but I almost blew one. You know, the time when the princess was working right under our noses.
But you did catch on. In the long run. I wish I'd have caught on a little sooner.
Peter, look, I don't know exactly what your problem is, buddy, but I can only give you general advice. Now, I get the feeling that you're a little embarrassed to what the other party said to you. Now, wait a minute. Now, let's try to look at the problem objectively, okay? Now, constantly, I'm always trying to keep my feelings from getting tangled into a story.
But you do have feelings.
Well, yeah, but I can handle them when I know they exist. See, as a reporter, people are a little bit intimidated by me. You know what I mean? And they react toward me adversely.
But you pushed them to act the way they do.
Let's say I help them. But I have to be careful with my words because I don't want them to get the wrong impression. You know?
Gene, you saying this stuff's my fault.
Wait a minute, no! Peter, I'm not saying that at all. But you know and I know that people don't live in a vacuum, buddy.
You know, I feel stupid enough. I'm coming here asking your advice. Now I feel worse.
You shouldn't feel... Look, I'm just trying to help you. Let me tell you something. When Carla and I split up, we were always blaming the two of us admitted fault. You understand what I'm saying? Hang in there. Keep your head up, man. I mean, time gets better. You know what I mean? Time goes on.
Yeah, I hope you're right.
Sure, yeah. Hey. If you ever have any more problems with this Courtney, you know where to call me.
Gil, I don't have any feelings for Stacey. She's a good friend, but that's it. That is it.
Well, how are you going to tell her that?
I don't know. I gotta think about it.
Well, don't think too long. She's at home right now getting ready for what she thinks is going to be a very romantic evening.
Well, listen, I'm sorry about all this. Did you ever think that maybe if you just stuck by her at the trial, that she wouldn't be so attracted to me?
No, don't try to put it all back on me.
I'm not. I'm just saying that, we're both responsible for this.
Okay. I mean, I stayed away because she lied to me. And I ran because I thought she killed her mother. But I'm trying to make that up to her. Stacey's the best thing that ever happened to me. She's the first woman I've ever been with where I didn't have to play some silly macho game or live up to some crazy playboy image. You know, she's the one that's responsible for the truth coming out, that Vicki Lang was responsible for the collapse of the Canterbury complex. You know, I almost lost everything then. But I've been slowly building that business up myself. If it wasn't for Stacey, I'd have lost everything. And I remember when she came out of her shell. She was beautiful. After 21 years of being all bound up because of insecurities, she blossomed into a beautiful woman. And now what does she do? She freaks out, blames it all on me, and falls in love with you.
I'll talk to her tonight at dinner. Explain things to her. Set her straight.
I hope she can handle it.
She can.
Look, Weaver, I want her to know where you stand, more than anything else in the world. But I don't want her to be hurt. She's been hurt enough.
There's some pretty tough winters up in Canada.
Daddy, we're going for the summer, not the winter. I think we will survive, so don't worry about us.
Well, your mother knows already how I feel, so I won't repeat myself.
I'll be okay, Grandpa.
Sure you will, sure you will. What time's your plane leave?
Well, we still have a couple of hours. Jeremy's going to meet us tonight at the Toronto airport, and then we'll have about a 3-hour car ride on up to Glen Orchard.
I can't wait to see Grandma.
I'll bet you can. I'll bet she's anxious to see you, too.
Daddy, would you like me to say anything to Mother for you?
Yes. Tell her I wish her well.
Anything else?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Mim,
Yeah.
aren't you the least bit concerned about pulling Eric out of another school? I mean, this is the third academic change in 2 years.
Daddy, we're going for the summer. For all we know, all of us could be back by fall.
I'm pretty sure that I'm still gonna make honor roll.
Well, maybe Maybe knowing your grandfather did some good after all. It looks like we have another winner in the Carpenter family.
I think it's time to say goodbye to your Grandpa.
I'll miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too, and just because you're so far away now, don't you dare forget me.
I can never forget you.
Well, just to make sure of that, how would you like to come and visit me in Lake Forest when I get settled? You know, you're very important to me. Don't you ever forget that.
I love you.
I love you too.
Mom, do you think I could visit Grandpa?
Well, I'm sure there could be that possibility someday. Why don't you just go out and wait in the car, all right? Because your grandfather and I have just a few things to discuss before we leave.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, maybe after the dust settles, Stacey and I can get back to where we were before.
Well, look, don't push it, okay? Because no matter how Russ handles the situation, it's not gonna be easy for Stacey.
Yeah, I know. But in time, I mean, I've waited this long, haven't I? I can afford to wait a little bit longer.
Speaking of waiting, we're gonna miss that racquetball court.
Oh, that's right. Look, I'm really not in the mood anyway. I'm kind of drained.
Oh, I thought you wanted to do it. I'm not in the mood either, okay?
Well, that's good, because I got some work to do anyway. I've got some bids coming up on several buildings that I should work on, and I want to get some rest too. Okay? So,
Okay.
I'll see you later, huh?
All right. See ya.
Yeah.
Here's a check, Peter.
Thank you.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, what can you expect from a college hangout, right?
Hey, great service if I'm the waitress.
Is that a fact?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Well, maybe I'm exaggerating just a little bit.
Well, I thought so.
Actually, I'm a lot more available after hours, if you know what I mean. I get off pretty early.
Gives you a lot of free time, I guess, huh?
Uh-huh. I was thinking, maybe we could get together tonight? Or...
Look, I'm sorry. It's been a really rough day.
You just can't get enough, can you, Davidson? Going after waitresses now, huh?
Hey, wait, just who do you think you are?
I'll take care of this. Okay.
All right, I'll go look after my other tables.
You really had me going this time, Davidson. I actually believed you. No more, pal.
Jeremy has given me a chance for a new life, Daddy.
He's also given you the chance to make the biggest mistake of your life, too.
Now, come on, we've been through all of this before.
Yes, all right, but don't come crawling back to me when you realize that I've been right.
I know I'm doing the right thing. I just wish I could have your blessing, too.
I can't give it.
I understand that. I hope everything goes really well for you back in Chicago.
Oh, well, I'm sure it will. Strange, isn't it? Preston and I talked about trading houses. What a peculiar man. He seems to be jumping around an awful lot for somebody who's supposed to be semi-retired. But then why do I bother about that? My main concern is to get myself settled in Lake Forest. Mim, once the reality of being so far away hits you, I think you're going to feel sorry that you're not with me, and I'd like to give you one more chance to change your mind.
Daddy. I just love you so very much. And I always will. But I won't change my mind. I won't. So many times I've tried. I have really tried to break down all these walls that have come up between us from Paul and then the court battle over Eric and now with Jeremy. But you just keep putting them up again. So when you decide to quit building them, I'll be waiting. I will. It's up to you. Goodbye, Daddy. Bye.
Hey, Vaughn, what are you talking about?
What do you mean, what am I talking about? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, you really had me played for the fool this time. If you love Courtney enough, go after her. All the time, figuring you'll do it yourself, huh?
Vaughn, who you been talking to?
Wait, I'll tell you, that's the last time I ever trust anything that you say, and that's the last time that you'll ever get near my wife again.
What did Courtney tell you?
She told me that you tried to force yourself on